Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I'm John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Yep, beautiful morning in the city. We had some rains, but nonetheless, we're looking great. And we're so blessed because we've got you along with us. We've got a lovely show lined up for you this morning, and we're going to enjoy what will take us directly into the weekend.
That's right. And we're going to start off with the weather update.
Yes, ma'am. We've got the forecaster Wellington is on the line. Francisca, good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year, John.
Woohoo!
Man, I wish I had a New Year's song. I sing it for you right now. No. It's so nice to hear from you, but Happy New Year to you as well, and of course the staff here at the National Met Service. But let's jump on into the weather. Good news for the start of the new year. General situation.
Okay, we have a cold front affecting us, and it will support variable cloudy skies today. We'll see a few showers, chance of isolated thunderstorm, and periods of rain. But I'm seeing that it will be affecting mostly the southern districts this afternoon and tonight.
What, the chance of rain?
The rains.
The chance of isolated thunderstorm.
Okay.
So all right. So
Can't get it twisted. No
Yeah.
rain. Thunderstorm.
all right. So let's. I think of course we covered the 24-hour forecast there. So let's talk about the temperatures then.
The temperature is okay, going up to 80 Fahrenheit along the coast this afternoon, 78 inland, 70 up in the Maya Mountains. Overnight temperatures now, we'll be seeing 70 along the coast, 63 inland, and 59 up in the Maya Mountains.
Man, I'd wait for the day we hear 50, 59 across along the coast and a little 55 inland and probably about 42 in the hills.
Do you have heater in your house?
I was wondering.
I got one stove.
You got stove?
Yeah. So what about the winds? Where will we be getting them from?
Okay. Currently, we have northwesterly winds, 5 to 15 knots, and producing slight seas. We'll be seeing a slight increase later on this afternoon.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, and the extended forecast. What should we expect throughout the weekend?
Okay, for Saturday and Saturday night, most of the periods of rain will be affecting the south, so the rest of the country will enjoy nice cool weather. And Sunday, we'll be seeing isolated showers around the country. Then we'll be seeing the showers starting again Sunday night.
All right.
All right. And the cold front is going to stick around for a while?
No, it's moving across us and should become stationary near Honduras.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
Francisca, thank you so very much, man. We really appreciate some good news, cold front.
You're welcome, John.
All right. Do
Have a
enjoy
great
your
day.
Thanks, same to you.
All right. So there we go, Marlene. I mean, cold front, 8th day of January 2021. We're going to take that. We'll take that.
Absolutely. Always more comfortable when it's a bit cooler.
Definitely.
All right, let's keep things moving with our eye opener. You ready for some motivation?
Yes. Ready,
All right.
ready.
And of course, our eye opener is taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this. So often, we come into this world carrying the fear of our parents as it's passed down and lived through us. When we really examine our fears about something, we sometimes notice that the fear we have is not based on our own experience. Often, we trace our fear back to its source. We find that one of our parents may have handed it down to us. For example, your mother or father may have had an intense fear of lack of money, stemming from their own life experiences. If that fear was not resolved by the time you came into the picture, chances are you inherited it. Meanwhile, you may have no actual experience of lacking money, So being fearful doesn't make sense. And it may even block you from doing certain things you want to do. Some of us will do as much of this work as we can before we become parents, while others will be working on this even as our children become adults. Either way, the effects will be felt, because once we break our ties to the fears of the past, our children's ties to those fears are greatly weakened. So it's important to remember that it's never too late.
I'll go with the never too late. I always use that phrase, never too late. But you know what it reminds me of? Parents saying, I will give my child this because I couldn't afford it when I was growing up. And I think that passed down to every generation thereafter. To a certain extent, I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around what the eye-opener is trying to convey. But at the same time, just listening to it, that is exactly what comes to mind. Yes, it's not everybody that's going to have it as good as possible. And yes, as parents, we do have a fear that things might run out at some times. There are people right now who are actually living that particular fear as we speak. And for parents, for myself being a parent, there's a big fear of trying to trickle things down to my children. So I do understand where it's coming from, but I love the way it closes out. So it's important to remember that it is never too late. So I feel at this point, Mara, seriously, I'm trying to wrap
Well,
wrap
I mean,
it up.
I'm just stuck trying to think what fear I may have inherited from my parents.
From your parents?
So I can blame them for it. Just saying. No, I think for me it goes back to the basic principle, and we've talked about this many times before, where you must be aware of the example that you set for your children. And we've talked about this in terms of, I know we talked with Jenny a lot about it, about how you display for them what relationships should be like, what your different interactions should be like, what your work ethic is going to be like, what your spending habits are going to be like. Very often I find people who are really good at saving had parents who instilled that from very young.
Yes.
And so I think that what it touches on is just allowing us to recognize that while you can pass on a lot of good habits, just be careful that you're not manifesting some type of fear that is totally unnecessary. You know, if you ever met an adult who's scared of a dog, most likely the kids grow up being scared of it because they don't want them around them, right? I mean, like, annoyingly cautious over every single puppy that goes by because the parent has that fear, and then the child develops it.
I
triggered something there. I can see it on your face.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, because it reminds me of my household. But it's not. When you said dog, it brings and the fear, and the kids actually fearing dogs as well. It brings some clarity. In my household, it's a whole different thing. My
Are we ready for this? I don't know. Is it going to be a horse?
In my household, there's a fear of a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to food.
Oh.
And there's a fear of pigtail in my house. And so nobody wants to eat it. So much so that when you're boiling it, it's like, why you do that? You know? So the
fact that you cook it means that you like it.
What?
And no one else does.
Everybody love pigtail. But indeed, you're so right in terms of passing down fears. I think it's how we how we talk about it, how we have that conversation about things, how we deliberate on what it is and how we feel about it. Some people actually would smell fish and seem that fish tastes like it smells. And that fear trickles down to the children. So when you tell them, here's your piece of fish, they'll tell you, no, man, I don't eat that. It is a part of fear. So I totally understand the situation.
But I think
having
like
the conversation, though, is very important.
No, I was just thinking as you were talking, things like food are definitely ones maybe that you can pick up on. But you want to be careful of the ones that really can make your child's life challenging, like trusting issues.
Yes.
Maybe you as a parent don't keep a lot of friends. You're a bit more introverted.
Yeah.
You may notice that your children pick up very similar habits because they don't trust people. They see you don't trust people. It could be the same with relationships as well. And I think it talks about a fear of money, but not so much about, clearly you want them to be successful and make enough and be able to survive, But is it going to be that the fact that they don't take any risks because they never saw that or understood that that was part of
Yes.
what you have to do?
Yeah, indeed, the money part was definitely a great example. But you're so right. Living that trust factor is definitely one of those things because and you're so right again in mentioning about them being an introvert, the parent. But then again, you've got children who would go to school and try to learn, how to be around people. But the fear of others is right there, so you're totally right when it comes to that. I think
That's
the
a
eye-opener...
workaholic. They'll be a workaholic.
I hope so, because, okay, a good example of this. My youngest, 3 years old, woke up and she said, Daddy, I dreamed that you were not at home, that you were at work, because that's where I always am. I'm always at work. So that was her dream. And probably, who knows, it seems like I'm a workaholic. Probably they grew up to be that way. But the eye-opener is definitely one to reckon with, and I really and truly appreciate it because there are many times, there's so many ways, there's so many things that we discuss when it comes to the eye-opener. Definitely a motivator for today.
All right. So
It is a fun Friday. It is a fun Friday. We've got some conversations lined up for you, and we'll try our best to have some fun with it because the conversation actually could be very fun. We have fun in learning, and learning is fun. So we'll be kicking off the morning with, of course, our COVID-19 all courtesy full text systems. A quick chit-chat with the University of Belize, their student government, and they've got their COVID relief fund that they're trying to strike up. So let's see where that conversation will go.
all right, and the second part of the show, we're going to have Jenny returning for another session of Brock It Down with Jenny. And we're going to be talking about setting realistic goals for 2021.
Definitely. You know what I have fun with, Mar? I have fun talking about food. I have a lot of fun thinking about, I have fun eating food. And I have fun learning what foods not to eat. So, our third segment for this morning, Dr. Marfield is going to be in with us, and he'll be telling us, hey, enough to eat this, enough to eat that. But this one is good. So he'll be in to talk to us about that.
All right, so that's what we have in store for today.
That's right. We've got that in store for today. We need to take a break, but just before we go, we want to say a big, big, big happy birthday. Our birthday shout out to none other than Diana Fuller. Happy birthday to you, Dee. Happy birthday to you. From the family, from your Channel 5 crew, from the Open Rise crew, wishing you all the very, very best. So we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll be chit-chatting with reps from UB, student government, that is. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Abigail.
Yes, Gran?
Abigail, I can't breathe well.
Granny, we need to go to the hospital to get you checked out.
No. I'm fine.
Yes, Gran, we need to go now to get you treated. Now, before it's too late.
No.
Grandma, we need to go for all of us.
No.
Stop. If you are having flu-like symptoms, please call us immediately for medical guidance. If you have chronic conditions such as diabetes, and you're experiencing symptoms such as shortness of breath or chest pain, please also seek medical attention immediately. We've lost a lot of people this year. We don't want to lose you too. Please seek help if necessary. Call us at 0800-664-2273. Continue to wear your mask at all times. Keep physical distance when in public and stay at home unless absolutely necessary. This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
It's a fact that you can access unlimited services with Smart. Tired of being measured or cut off when you need to be connected? It's a fact that when you sign up for Smart's Plus plan, you get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data. And it's a fact that you can sign up with your group of up to 5 members for Smart's Share plans and up to 40 members for Smart's Enterprise plans for unlimited talk, text, and data. Smart has the true unlimited plans. That's a fact. Be smart and live smart.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYEBelize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
The new Miss Universe Belize will be announced live Saturday, January 9th, right here on Channel 5, starting at 3 p.m. Find out who will be representing the jewel at the next Miss Universe pageant.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving into our first segment on this fun Friday. This, of course, is our COVID relief, all courtesy Fulltech Systems. Thank you guys so very much for this segment. This one is actually about UB, the University of Belize and Student Government COVID-19 Relief Fund. In to talk to us about it, we've got Kelsey Cook, who is the president of the Belmopan Student Government, UB. We've got Steve Good Steve, president, Belize City Student Government, UB, and Amalia Ball, faculty senator for Education and Arts. All three of you guys, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year.
All right, so you know, I read over what you guys have, and I was thinking, man, back in my days at UB, back in what, 99, 2000, somewhere around there, it definitely was a lot of fun. But we know how things are at this particular point, and things are very tough for families across the country. But you guys actually are come up with an initiative to try and help out each other. Where did the initiative come from? That's the first question.
Well, to be quite honest, it was over last year during the summer. My student government and I were having a meeting, and we were planning, and we are actually discussing about our legacy project. And I came up with the idea, and I said, guys, why don't we do a relief fund? And they were like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, because, you know, I know that it is a struggle to go to school when when we even have jobs, you know?
Yeah.
And now that COVID had cut jobs, I said, you know what? I'm a struggling student. I understand what our students are going through.
Yeah.
So, you know what? This is something that needs to be done. And my SG was like, you know what? Yeah, definitely. We need to get at the drawing board. Let's plan and, get things done. And that's basically how it came up. That's how it came about.
So tell me something, what year are you in and what are you studying?
So I'm in my 3rd year at the uni. I'm doing my bachelor's in history.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
That's nice.
And so let's move over to Belize City. I want to hear a bit about what you guys are doing first. What are you studying? What year you're in?
My name is Steve Good. I'm in my last semester right now studying marketing at the University of Belize. And when I was presented with this idea about the COVID-19 relief fund, I was like, wow, this is a very good initiative. Right now we should be taking this and going all out regardless. I want to talk about one personally for the great idea. It was something better. It couldn't have been anything better, than that, to help students in a time like this where we have families struggling, parents losing jobs. The anxiety is up for students, being out in a full pandemic and worrying about school at the same time. The least we can do is just lend a helping hand assistance to them.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very happy that I'm here today to be a part of it, and we're just trying our best to work together to do the best.
Yeah. Amelia, tell us a bit about Punta Gorda.
Good morning. My name is Amalia Ball. I am in my 2nd year and I am an English major. And well, Punta Gorda was honestly very, very thankful because here in Punta Gorda, we have students that come from both rural and urban areas, and they are in need of assistance, and so we were very grateful.
All right. So let me ask, what's it like? Your friends and the people you know that go along with you to school. How many of them are working? How many of them are parents? How many of them are funded by parents or self-funded? Give us an idea of the landscape.
Well, doing bachelors at UB in the nighttime, basically you're surrounded by more of a mature audience of people within the ages of 25 to around 30. And a lot of these people work. And I noticed that when the pandemic hit Belize, a lot of them lost their jobs, and it's like, I personally, I don't work or anything. Well, I'm a fitness trainer, but that's my side, like my hobby. My friends take good care of me, so to see that these people who go to work every day, not in 8 to 5, and then come off back and go to school, working so hard to lose their job, and then some of them are on monthly plans for school as well. Yeah. So it was very heartbreaking seeing that, okay, one pandemic hit the country, and boom, so many people have been unemployed.
Yeah. What has been the biggest challenge right now with UB, and especially amidst this pandemic and having to do school online? How challenging is that for you guys? Steve?
Well, I wouldn't say, it has its challenges, Charles, and but I said with good time management, we work together with students very efficiently. We're on the go 24 and more, answering to emails, answering to phone calls. Students have our numbers personally. And our major team player, our MVP, is Dr. Queer, who's the head of team and student affairs. So whenever we're in problem or we don't know what to do, we go to him, and he's the light.
Okay.
All right. And
so, Kelsey, tell us the landscape in Belmopan. What's the students' situation?
Well, I would say that there's a large majority of working students at the Belmopan campus. Some students are funded by their parents, and I've personally heard out students complaining. Well, not complaining, but they spoke out during classes or even through via WhatsApp message speaking about, you know what, I probably won't come back next semester because I probably won't even have the money to put down. And you know, that breaks my heart to hear that from other students, you know. And it's a lot of students that, you know, that say these things.
Yeah, I could imagine. And Amalia, being down in Toledo, we do understand the challenges, especially for the fact that there are students from rural, like you mentioned, and from urban. At this particular point, you're not going to class in town. You guys would have to take class, especially for those urban, rural, you'd have to take class from your devices or online. Talk about the challenges that you guys are facing there when it comes to that, especially for these rural students. What are they telling you? What are they reaching out to the student government for?
Well, the major issue they have is that they're in rural areas, there is hardly any internet access due to some villages, like probably those in the border areas and villages of some sort. They don't even have light. So it is very hard for them to gain internet access. They would have to come all the way to town, and you know that is money. Everything needs money. They have to spend to come to town, and the university has made the computer lab accessible for them, but it still takes money for them to travel. So it has been very hard for them, but you know, they try to sacrifice everything to be a university graduate. And with the help of this fund, it will benefit them. So I encourage them to apply, because though it may not be much, but it is help for them to get that education. And there is a lot of them that mentioned that they don't think they would be able to do this semester because of that fact that they don't have the money. Many parents lost their jobs, and here a lot of people are funded by their parents, but also they try to go out and find a job to provide for themselves so that they don't have to put that strain on their parents.
Wow. So tell us about how you guys managed to raise the funds.
So the student government is allotted an amount of money every semester. In student fees, they are asked to pay student activity fees, and some of that money is allotted in our student account, in our HG account. And you know, I knew that we weren't coming back during the semester, so I said, you know what, the best way we can give back to our students is through this. You know?
Yeah. Wow. And then let's talk about indeed the fund and how students could be eligible to be a part of it. What must they do?
Well, we didn't want the application process to be tedious. So all we asked was for the students to use the link that is provided on the form, or they can call the number or email the email that's provided on the form to get the link. All you need is your student ID. You need to write a 300 to 500 word essay, and that's pretty much it. And your cumulative GPA as well. You have to provide your report card.
Okay, of 2.7 grade point average.
Yes, a 2.75.
How many students are eligible for this, or how many students are you able to help, and what would be the dollar amount per?
So we're giving out 70, and it's 400 per student.
Okay.
$400 per student.
Okay.
That's a lot indeed. And is it shared equally amongst districts, or it's anybody who write this essay and is eligible?
Well, actually, not really. Belize City has provided for 15 students. Belmopan Student Government has taken the PG Student Government under a wing, the PG campus under a wing. So we are giving them 5 for PG campus, and we also have Central Farm campus under our wing, so we are taking care of Central Farm and our campus as well.
Okay. I just want to make a note, Central Farm campus, my alma mater, Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Resources, FANAR. Whoop, whoop. You know, just throwing that out there. But, it is definitely a great initiative. You did say that they must write this essay. What is the deadline to apply?
So the deadline to apply is next week, Friday. The application has been circling around for almost 2 weeks now. What we want to try to do is have the money being allotted in the student accounts by the ending of January or, somewhere in the beginning of February.
Wow. All right. And so, upon receiving yes, you have gotten this amount of money. Do you guys pay for it, or you put it in the student's account, then they make their payment? How is that done?
So what we will do, if the student gets the grant, we will allot the money in their student account. They have, it depends. They have to allot a certain amount of money in their account just to say, I applied, I need to put down my percentage. And then, the money is further allotted, like I said, in the ending of January or the beginning of February.
Okay. So talk to me about, you are doing classes online at this time. How do you guys stay connected with each other? Because you seem to have a very good pulse of how other students are struggling.
So during classes, we use Zoom. And we usually use WhatsApp, email. Students email us. They do email us. And I personally have given out my number to students. So if students have something on their chest that they want to take off, they could, talk to me. If they have any issues, they could call me. I try my best to put myself out there, give out my number as such, because like you said, we're not on campus, so it's not like they could stop off by our office anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's good. Definitely great leadership quality. How many applications have you guys received so far?
So far, we have 18 applications.
Wow. So it's racking up. And their deadline again is when?
Next week.
Next week, Friday.
All right. So they've got an entire week left to make that application. All they need to do is write an essay as to why they need this and submit that. That's all.
Yes.
But they need to use the link.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have to use the link.
How many students make up the student government?
Well, for Belmont campus, it's 13.
Okay.
They said that we have 11 members, we have 11 members. And it's a total of 6 members on our Association of Student Government.
Yeah. And your term comes to an end when?
Sorry?
In the ending of June.
Okay.
The ending of this semester, actually. We're actually looking
we
for
have
people
to
to... Yeah, we're actually looking for people to run for elections in April.
Okay. So, I think you noted very early on, Kelsey, that this is your legacy project. This is what you wanted to close off to be remembered as the student government representatives. I think it's so great that we can see that you are thinking about your other students and the needs that they have. Let me ask you from a personal standpoint, as young students in tertiary level, you are hoping to, some of you in 1 year, some of you in 2 years, are hoping to enter the job market. As you see everything that's unfolding, what are your thoughts and concerns?
Whew, that's a good question. Personally, I'm actually looking forward to go studying outside. I'm actually I want to process applications to go outside and study. But, coming back, I look forward to, I heard that if you want to work in foreign affairs, you have to intern first. So I guess I'd have to. I don't even. Whew. You know, I personally,
that's a loss for words.
Yeah.
My personal point of view, I know it's kind of depressing to know that, you know, there's not jobs for us, and you have to create your own jobs.
Wow.
You know, there's nothing wrong with creating your own jobs. That's good. That's good, you know, but you know that depending on what you study.
Yeah.
So you know, for me, if I wanted to work besides say not working in foreign affairs, I would have to go into the education field and probably go and teach.
Yeah. Well, don't change your dreams yet, right? This is where we are right now, and you plan to further your education. But I appreciate your honesty as to how you feel.
Yeah.
Amelia, tell me from your point of view. You're studying English.
Yes. Well, it's a bit scary, as she said, for seeing how the world has shifted.
Yeah.
But I have faith in that things will turn out great.
Yeah.
So I am just finishing, I will be finishing then my associate. So I'm not really in a rush, but
okay.
My dream is to become an English instructor as well, probably at the high school level. So I think that jobs will be available, but in the case that they're not, there is always something that I can do with my education. So
Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Definitely.
And Mr. Good, it's all good for you?
I wouldn't say it's all good, to be honest. Like my colleagues have said, it is very scary, you know, in these times whereby you'll be applying for jobs, you know, and employers look at, you know, these are online students, you know, who just graduated. What is the integrity of their degree? You know, like, is it really worth it? They were online, you know, they go through the full process.
Yeah.
But I feel as if though that this generation of students and of kids in a whole, they're promoting more of an entrepreneurial mindset, like as Kelsey stated, you know, and I want to thank the university personally for having a course called Introduction to Entrepreneurship, whereby we have teachers who give you the full rundown of what it is to be an entrepreneur. They don't go by the book. We are being taught by actual entrepreneurs who they say just from the beginning ground up, okay, this is how I started. You know, you borrow from the bank, you know, you have to do your marketing. You know, in studying marketing, I feel as the police, we got a long way to go. So as the time progressed, you know, and starting digital marketing, I may do have like a role in life where I'm secure to say, okay, maybe I have a job here and there, you know. And I do run my own business as well, and I'm planning to expand it and take it further, so that maybe in my 30s I could, like, you know, step back from the work field and go, like, just put my energy in my own job. I mean, in my own, you know, business, and just grow from there.
All right.
Right.
Well,
I do, you know, I think one of the things that stands out is how quickly you talk about creating your own opportunities. And that in itself is a testament to the growth that's taking place in our society, that you see opportunities. As we said, this is where we are today. And I hope that you guys remain steadfast in pursuing your education and following up on those goals. One more time, how do people access the application for the grants? You're offering 70 overall, right?
So if students want, they can call the number that is on the form, or email the email that's on the form. The number that's on the form is my personal number.
Okay. And what's the deadline?
January 15th. That's next week, Friday.
Next week, Friday. All right. And it's just one essay and submitting the required documentation.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so very much. Excellent initiative, and we'd like to wish you guys all the very best, all right?
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, Mr. Good.
Thank you.
Yes,
all right, Miss Amalia. And all right, Kelsey.
Bye.
What a conversation, Marlene. Very inspiring. Young UB students actually trying their best to help out each other. That's great. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we come back, though, we'll be joined by our lovely, lovely, lovely lady. We're talking Jenny Lovell. She'll be in with us to break it down, as she always does. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us, then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something, the Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank. Our country. Your bank.
Actualmente, el virus de COVID-19 en el país sigue siendo una amenaza. Debido a que el virus nos necesita para propagarse de una persona a otra, podemos evitar que infecte a otros si practicamos el distanciamiento físico. Eso significa: manténgase al menos a 6 pies de distancia de otras personas. Evite el contacto físico. No se salude con besos, abrazos ni de mano. No se reúna en grupos grandes. Quédese en casa cuando los oficiales de la salud así lo indiquen. Utilice los medios sociales o el teléfono para comunicarse con los amigos. Evite los espacios cerrados y las áreas con mucha gente. Trabaje desde casa si puede. No visite a nadie que esté enfermo, en cuarentena o en aislamiento. Mejor, llámelos por teléfono. Protejamos nuestra salud.
Miss Belize. The new Miss Universe Belize will be announced live Saturday, January 9th, right here on Channel 5 starting at 3 p.m. Find out who will be representing the jewel at the next Miss Universe pageant.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Are back,
yes,
and
ma'am.
We are getting ready to start a conversation with Jenny Lovell. Of course, Jenny is our mental health therapist who broke down all kinds of issues for us. And today she is going to be tackling keeping up and setting realistic resolutions. So before we get into that conversation, we wanted to set the tone a bit. And if you needed a bit of motivation to see how you can be able to achieve things that seem impossible, we've got just the story for you. A young man that lost over 150 pounds in just 9 months.
Wow.
Right here in Belize. Let's check that out. Wow. This is the story of Manuel Grant.
Wow.
It started with the scare of his life.
It wasn't like someone was grabbing me in my chest. It felt like someone was stabbing me from the inside. I felt both my legs actually started to get weak. And and after that, I just felt myself drooling, right? And I was no longer able to sustain my weight because of how weak my legs felt, and I just fell to the ground. That was when I realized, I think you're gonna die. And I think this is it. This is the big one.
You said that to yourself.
I said that to myself, like, I'm gonna die alone at home. I'm gonna die while urinating on myself. And I'm gonna die at over 400 pounds on a big Monday or Tuesday morning. And that's literally gonna be the legacy from my life.
That led to one last bargain, a desperate plea to God.
And I said, I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I'm begging you for one. And I said, if you let me survive this today, I'm going to turn everything around.
That was March 30th, 2020, just a little over 9 months ago, when 28-year-old Manuel Grant, who at the time weighed 410 pounds, believed he was having a heart attack and prayed for one last chance at life. It was his wake-up call.
In the beginning, I set a 250 weight goal for myself because that seemed so impossible and far-fetched. I was like, I'll just throw that number. I'll never reach it. It was just taking it one day at a time and 1 week at a time, and every week going to weigh and things like that. I was like, okay, the weight is slowly coming off. Yeah. And little by little every day, that 250 weight goal, it seemed a little more possible.
Step by step, he progressed. He swapped his habits of excessive emotional eating to carefully measured low-calorie foods. He started exercising and gained motivation as he shed the pounds.
If your diet isn't one that you can see yourself on for the rest of your life, then that is not the diet for you. I just started worrying about calories, and that's what weight loss is. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. It doesn't matter if it's keto, paleo, veganism. It doesn't matter. It comes down to one simple mathematical equation. That's calories in, calories out. Right? As long as you are burning more calories than you are consuming, you will lose weight. And the weight just kept coming off, 7 pounds in 1 week, 8 pounds in 1 week, and it just became like this high I was chasing. Actually, in the beginning, I couldn't do any crazy. I could barely walk for 10 minutes, right? But I walked for 10 minutes. Although it was hard, although I was out of breath for most of it. Then I started being able to run a bit. And now every day I do 60 minutes of cardio. But I break it up into walking fast walking, running, and skipping rope.
Slowly, the new Manuel began to reveal himself, no longer antisocial and hiding from his own reflection. However, he's still adjusting to the new person in the mirror.
I really don't know who he is because I was used to never looking into mirrors. I never passed where cars were because I didn't want to maybe get a glimpse of my reflection because I hated myself so much. And the worst part about a prison like this that you build is that you built it yourself. You built this prison on your own. Like, you literally did this to yourself. And that's the worst part because you don't have anybody else to blame. And now I look in the mirror and I'm not 100% happy with everything that I see. I pick myself apart, but the guy in the mirror now, he has hope. And that is something that I did not have before.
All right, let's see it. This is size
that I used to use.
Size 56 with extensions.
With extensions.
He has lost 165 pounds in a little over 9 months and down 20 pant sizes. But with all the weight he's lost, Manny says he's gained so much more.
I look at everything with a positive mindset. And I choose to see the positive in every situation. And I think that's made me a much more pleasant person to be around. And I think that's just as important as the physical aspect, which, is great. Yeah. But having a better mindset changes everything.
It's not over yet. As he says, he still has 3 more months to reach another weight loss goal.
I did set another weight goal for myself. It's 210. I think I'm 6 feet tall, so I think that would be, 210 would be ideal.
Manuel has shared his story online with the hopes of inspiring others to do the same.
It's become a cliche at this point where people say, if I can do it, anyone can. No, if I can do it, I was literally at death's door. If I can do this, there's no reason why anyone else in this world can't do what I did.
I'm lost for words. I feel extremely emotional about it, simply because a goal is wow. Mr. Grant, my brother, congratulations. You are a true definition of hope. And I'd like to wish you all the very best. And I'll tell you what, within the next 2 or 3 months, like you mentioned, we would definitely want to have you on to talk about strength building, and what got you over that hump. We would definitely want to talk about it. So Marlene, that was a great, inspiring story. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was, and I think it's the perfect way to start off this conversation. We have Jenny with us.
Hi, Jen.
And we're talking about setting realistic goals and following through on them. And what better example could we have than that? What seemed impossible, he managed to do. And in the middle of a pandemic, when all of us were just kind of, it's assuming it's all worse.
Yeah. And you know what, like you mentioned, in the middle of a pandemic where folks, our mindset is totally all over the place, actually, whereby you want to resort to something else to try and feel good about this big change that have occurred. But Mr. Grant showed you that, it's all about your mind, and it's all about that will to live and that drive to go on. Jenny, good morning.
Good morning.
What are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. Congratulations to that young man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But you know what? It brings this topic that we're going to talk about. It really makes this very important.
Yep.
Because I keep saying to folks, change doesn't happen overnight. Change takes a while.
Yes.
So he did a lot of things, because I could tell, just going by what he said, he went through the 5 stages of change. Now I'm going to say it towards the end. I'm just going to give him some cautions, because stages of change, the way it works, the last stage is relapse. Sometimes you'll fall off, but never give up. You get up, brush yourself up, and you start again. Remind yourself why you're doing this. Go back through the stages and just pick yourself up again.
Yeah.
He picked himself up, and he went through the process. He went through the exact 5 stages.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic what he's done. My goodness.
Yeah.
So I'm calling this topic today, after the celebration, how to best
keep the resolutions.
Thank you. I'm not saying stuff here.
I will help you. You know that. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. So we're jumping straight into the stages of change.
Okay.
And the thing about change, there are 3 things you have to remember with this model. This is called the Prochaska model, or the trans-theoretical model, right? There is, first of all, it prepares you. There's a readiness to change. Something makes you ready to make that change. You also have to understand that there are barriers to change. Some people can stay in the 2nd stage for up to a year, up to a year. He had a life-threatening thing happen to him. So he made up his mind. He jumped through pre-contemplation, into contemplation, and right smack into action, and was able to sustain for all those months. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Normally, people can take a long time to make the changes they need to make.
So
Go ahead.
Can I just ask you, so pre-contemplation and contemplation, I can think of so many people and I can think of so many examples of people who are stuck there. You say for a year, but I know much longer. You know, that
well, I said it can be up to a year just to be in contemplation, thinking about it.
Yeah, just that far off dream that you say you're going to do, you say you're going to do, you say you're going to do, but you never do it.
That's
what keeps us stuck there?
So let me just remind people what pre-contemplation is. Pre-contemplation, you're not even thinking you have a problem.
Yeah.
With alcoholics, we talk about it, them being in denial, right? We can be in denial about our weight too, you know. But it's ignorance of the problem. There's an ignorance there. Strategies, you want to really give the person lots of information, or they can go get lots of information. Go online, find out what kinds of things. If you're thinking that about weight, for example, go and read up about strokes. Go read up what cholesterol does to your body. Read what diabetes can do to your body. Start informing yourself, because if you keep eating the way you do, or you keep doing the things you're doing, eventually those are the things that are going to affect you. You see? So it's really important during pre-contemplation that if you're the person trying to help someone, is to give them lots of information. You're educating them about all the different things that are affecting them.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're starting to think about what you're saying because of all the information you've shown them, right? So they're now in contemplation. But contemplation brings a lot of ambivalence. Right? Well, I really want to lose weight, but I don't know if I want to go out there, go run. So we talk about, you don't have to run. Incorporate exercise into your routine, your daily routine. Walk to work instead of taking a taxi or driving.
Yeah.
Or and when you go to Mirab, instead of taking the elevator, well, it's upstairs, you have to go up the escalator. So that's not a good example. But you want to take the stairs where possible. Park your car far away in the parking lot to give yourself, incorporate exercise or some movement into your day. So now you're in contemplation, you have conflicting emotions, because I want to, but and so this is why people stay in contemplation so long, because they're really ambivalent about making the change that's necessary for them. So one of the things I like to do is have them put a sheet of paper, put a line down the middle. What are the pros or what are the cons of losing weight, of stopping your drinking, of whatever it is that they're looking at possibly changing. I want them to the pros and cons of making this change. This way you can confirm whether they're ready or not, or if they have the ability to even make the change. They have to see it, because they have to buy into it. And so I can sit here and try to encourage all I can, but they have to buy into it. And so in contemplation, they're still thinking. Now, you know when a change has occurred when they start now preparing. You see, they've gotten enough information, and so now they start wanting to make some sort of change. So they're preparing. So like in that young man's case, right? He decided he's going to eat differently. He's going to start eating healthy. You don't really have to follow a diet. But if you are going to follow a diet, one of the ones that's really good, for example, is the Mediterranean diet. And all that says is eat with colors. You want to make sure that you put things on your plate that are red, green, put all colors on there. That's how you get all the vegetables that you need to eat, right? You have to have some nuts, things like that. So you're looking at something healthy rather than doing a diet, because I'll tell you, diets you're setting yourself up for failure just by dieting. Because people give up when they don't see the weight coming off quickly as they think they should. Or they lose the weight and then they get cocky because, our mind plays tricks with us. and they'll start, okay, well, I can have just a little of that because I did so good today. Or I did so good this week. I can reward myself by going out and having an ice cream, right? And so that in that preparation, you really want to have them experiment with small changes. So how about having a salad rather than eating rice and beans today? You have a small salad. And you want to do those kinds of things and gradually have them start preparing. But in preparation, they are making small changes and testing the waters.
Okay.
Right? And also, you're still collecting information. You're giving them information about change. Have them write down goals. Have them prepare a plan of action. Which is why I showed the vision board at the end. Right? We'll get to that hopefully real quickly. You want to get them self-help books. We don't have any. We don't have Weight Watchers here or any of those programs, because the support of friends and family is really, really important in helping people to get over that hump. You see? After the preparation, then now they're moving into action. This is when they actually start now doing bigger things. They're eating a salad, and now they've taken red meat out of the diet. They're eating things like 3 ounces of meat. The recommended thing is eating only 3 ounces of meat, right? Have you ever looked at our plates when we go eat chicken or something? Oh my God, that's like a whole pound of meat we're eating.
But you know, I mean, beyond the weight loss though, because sometimes for people it's like saving money, or it's going after some kind of goal that you had. The trigger for action is one that is often very hard. I know for some of us, we want to feel like we have it all prepared before you move to action. What's your advice there?
You have to start. Just start. Start with small things. One of the things I like to tell people, if you want to change things like your money, pay yourself first. Take 10% off the top of your paycheck and put that into the credit union, the bank. Put it into a savings account. That's paying yourself. Not going to the hairdresser and getting a hairdo, or getting your nails done. Go 10% of your check for you. Put it in your savings account. And that way now you are beginning to make small changes. And like I said,
so you won't wait until you have extra money to put into it. Just do it 1 month.
That's the way you begin to make small changes. Remember I said change takes time, but you have to start small. Otherwise, I'll tell you people get overwhelmed and then they stop. We're getting to where they stop, and then they fall right off. You know, what they call it, they backslide. They fall right off, right? So after preparation, then there's action. They get out and start doing stuff. So like if you're saving, you start putting that money. And I wouldn't advise you put it in a piggy bank at home, because you'll go touch it. Actually open a credit union book or something where you can take that 10% and put it there as savings. It's paying yourself. See it as paying yourself. See the weight loss as paying into your health.
That's right.
Right? See the exercise that you're doing as helping your heart. You really have to find other things to look at. And like I said, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. This is what I don't like about resolutions, because people say those things and it's like, yeah, I'll be over this in a week. We really have to look at how to make lasting change. And that takes time.
So we try to maintain it once we start.
Right.
Okay.
Now, once you start the action, that's where the fun begins now, because you start and you you reward your success. Don't forget to reward your success. That's one of the flaws with dieting is that people feel like they're giving something up. And you really have to see this as being a life change for your health or a life change for your money. You have to look at it differently. So you also have to change your mindset and see what you're doing in a different way. Okay, so some strategies: reward your successes, seek out social support. That's really important. You've got to have somebody who is there to keep you. So find a support system. It's we don't have groups here that people can go to, but find friends who will go out walking with you. Find someone that if you're going to make something, you make it one day, they make it another day, but something healthy. But there are so many things that you can do to get the support system. The young man did it all on his own, which for me is so remarkable, because he got out and did that on his own and he stuck to it. right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're able to maintain this for 6 months, you reach the next stage, which is called maintenance. If you're able to do it for 6 months.
Yeah.
But what happens, it's right at that point, a lot of people undermine their own selves.
Yeah.
You know, because we get cocky. Ooh, I made it. I got lost all this weight. And that's when you start thinking, okay, your mind starts playing tricks on you. Oh, I can have a little of this. I can have a little of that. I don't have to have all this green or all this red stuff. I'll have a little bit of meat, a little bit more meat. And we start undermining our own selves. So it's really, really, really very important that in maintenance, you're really paying attention and not fall off the wagon. And don't lie to yourself that you can try this and you can have that, you can have that. You have to learn through the process, discipline, self-discipline.
As you say this process, one of the things I'm thinking about is kind of, especially for people who are breaking a bad habit, that's the most common thing. You know, you reach a point where you're like, oh, you know, I haven't hung out with my friends and drank for a long time. I can handle one now. I can handle a couple now. And then, you know, the next week it's the same, and then you're back where you started.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing, especially someone who is, say, an alcoholic.
Yeah.
They can't go back and have one. Once they go on, they fool themselves into thinking they can have one, they'll be back on the wagon.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really important that you are learning new habits. And it settles in after the 6-month period. Now you're in maintenance. In maintenance, that's crucial because, again, that's where we begin to think that, I can just have a little one. And no, some people can't have a little one.
Yeah.
You can't go out there and have that ice cream because you love ice cream. So you go to have an ice cream. It's going to be a big ice cream. And then you'll think, okay, well, last week I was able to do that and I didn't gain any weight. So this week
I did it the first time, so I could do it again. I'm sure I could do it again. And,
and we fool ourselves, you know?
I think, Jen, it's all about changing the perspective, that mental perspective that you've got about yourself and what you've done. I think also what really sticks to me, Jen, is you mentioning about maintenance. Because the first 6 months is actually doing the work, but you need to maintain the work afterwards so you could continue on.
Yes. No, this is important. If you fall off the wagon, you've got to get right back on.
Yep.
You cannot say, well, I do it already, so I might as well just go out and have the whole thing, right? Yeah. You really have to catch yourself where you fall off.
This is such an easy path to kind of just going back to where you start, because let's say, for example, if it's a day where you overindulge on food when you've been eating healthy, sometimes the next day you can wake up and say, well, you know, I done fall off, I'll just go, you know. But what you're saying is that after relapse, you can go right back into the same basis all over again. That's the key part.
Go back. And one of the main things is go back and read the information you were reading.
Yeah.
Go back and remind yourself why you're on this journey in the first place. Go back and start doing the things that you did in the beginning. It's okay to do that. Okay?
And we're human. We're human. Sometimes we do, you know, fall short. We make commitments to ourselves, to others. You know, we never know what people are dealing with emotionally at a time. And sometimes we fall off the wagon. So I think that's, I mean, I don't know if you want to share something there before people feel too hard on themselves about it.
Hey, just look at me. I keep falling off the wagon.
Yeah.
I lose the weight, I gain the weight. And then I go back to the beginning and I go again. You know, the thing is, I looking at this year, I'm looking again. No, I'm really going to get serious about this because as you get older, it's harder.
You're totally right. But Jen, also I wanted to throw in here another important that you mentioned is a support. There's support group. So how do you, in terms of building your support, what would be the mindset, especially trying to go into that support group, and then again identifying those who are actually on the same level as you in wanting change?
Well, listen to me. The most important person to get on board with you is your partner. Okay? you've got to get your partner on board with you, or whoever prepares your food. All right? You have some older people, some moms, they want to pump food into you because that's how they show you love. But you really have to get them on board and go, Mom, please don't make or please don't offer me another nice bread pudding or potato pung on Sunday. Hide it from me. I don't want to see it. And explain to her how important that is. So that then she is on board with you. She will make sure that she protects you from that. Your sisters, your brothers, you have to get them on board. These are the people where you're going to go eat, or these are people who can undermine you or help you. So you've got to get them on board with you. Okay? Really, really important.
All right, so now we're talking about those SMART goals, right?
No. We still have relapse.
Oh.
Sometimes if a person falls off and they have, for example, let's use food. You get that one ice cream, right? And then they give up, and that's a lapse. You can easily go back and say, okay, I need to get back on this horse. Quick.
Yeah.
Right? But instead, what happens, people get disappointed in themselves. They become frustrated. Oh man, I put 6 months into this. I've done all this. I've lost weight, and then I did this. And give up. And then they'll go like, well, I failed myself, and go into relapse. And relapse is when you literally give up and you start eating the old way again. You've got to really be careful, because that is when your brain is playing real games with you. So you have got
to... The brain is stubborn, huh? It likes its old habits.
Yes, it likes to fall back. Remember, when you make changes, the synapses are still there, You've built new synapses, but the old ones are still there.
Yeah, that blueprint's still there.
You can fall right back into that. It's easy to fall back into it. So you've got to remind yourself that if you relapse, you totally go off the wagon, go back to pre-contemplation, because you're in denial again. Go back to pre-contemplation and do the things that you did to remind you of why you were doing this journey in the first place. Start over. It's okay. There's nothing that says you can't start over, okay?
All right. Yes.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you, I really believe in vision boards.
Okay.
When you have a vision board, it's something that your goals are on there, but it's pictorial. It's pictorial, and you want to put that vision board someplace. But before I do that, it's important to put SMART goals on your vision board. You want to put goals on there that you can actually achieve. You don't want to put things on there, I want to lose 200 pounds in the next 6 months. That is not realistic. Okay, so your goals have got to be specific. You have to get down to the nitty-gritty. Make them small things, steps that you want to accomplish. So you have to have specific steps that you wish to accomplish. They have to be measurable. I am going to cut back on eating red meat, right? So I'll only have red meat 1 time per week for the next 2 months, or so that I can cut back. Because if you try to drop something all at once, it's not going to happen. You've got to have steps to getting there, right? So it's got to be achievable. Can you do it? Can you do it? If you know that you're not going to be able to, don't put it down as a goal right now. Put it down as a goal after you've done some of the smaller, you've accomplished some of the other things, right? It's got to be realistic. It's got to be something that you are able to achieve. And it's got to be time bound. You put a time on there. The young man had a goal, and he had a time by when he was going to lose the weight. So you've got to be time bound. And then what you do with the vision board, you put pictures. So let's move to the next slide. So this is a basic vision board. When you look at that, can you see any SMART goals there?
No.
Those are not SMART goals.
Nope.
Eat healthy. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Save really money. How much? Pay debts. Which one?
Right.
Phone parents. How often?
Quit smoking.
When?
You got it. You got it. You understand. Exactly. So let's jump to the next vision board and look at that. So now what we've put on this one, and again, this is really a good one, but it's still more specific than the last one.
Yeah.
So this person wants to, oh, by the way, I have all my clients do vision boards, because a vision board helps you to visualize and manifest the things that you want to manifest for the year.
Yeah.
Right? So spiritually, this person wants to increase her presence with God.
Yeah.
Right? So she wants to do morning prayer and read a devotional reading every morning. That's pretty specific, right? It's also doable. It's measurable. This is what one reading, one prayer every morning to get closer to God. Mentally, she wants to do a journal. And in her journal, she is going to simply write 3 things she's grateful for. She's going to write what her goals are for the day in her morning pages, right? Physically, she wants to do a skincare routine every morning because she's getting pimples and whatnot. She wants to do a daily workout. I told her, you need to break that down. How long is your workout? What are you going to do? Are you going to be running? Decide what. She said, well, I want to be able to change around every day because I get bored. That makes sense, right? So, but she's already put down daily. So she plans to do this every day. What's the other one? What's the bottom one?
Intellectual podcasts.
Yes. She wants to listen to a podcast and look at and listen to some Christian music, right? And she wants to do some reading because she figures she wants to read a book a week, right? Hey, it's a lofty goal. I love it.
Yeah.
Relational wise, she wants to call her mom or call her sisters daily. And she says she has some friends who are kind of toxic. They gossip a lot. She wants to sort of ease herself away from that, and spend more time making new friends that are more into what she's doing. Financially, she wants to save, and we're talking about that rule about the 10% first to you in your credit union. So she wants to do that, and she wants to build some credit. So she wants to take some money and buy some furniture, but buy things a bit at a time so she can build credit to show that she's able to pay these things back. Yeah. And then personally, she wants to do affirmations. And this is throughout the day. There's an affirmation that she loved, which is, I am enough. I am enough. I have God with me and I need nobody else to affirm who I am. And so she's put that everywhere in her house. And she's going to have that as one of her main affirmations, but do some other affirmations throughout the day. And she wants to be consistent in everything that she has on this board. Now, I said to her, put this board someplace prominent where you have to see it. So she's putting it near her refrigerator so she can see it. And the board is easy. All you do is get yourself some Bristol board, something hard that you can put it up and it's there to remind you that these are the things that you have made a commitment to yourself to accomplish for you. This is for you, for me, say it, for me, right? So that's it in a nutshell.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I think it's easy to say you want to change something, but what you have done for us is really break it down into the how. And you know, we don't always know how to get started. And we can very easily get stuck with that lofty goal, or even it's maybe realistic, but we think it's lofty goal in our head and never move. But Jenny, I think you can get a lot of people to move in the right direction with your advice.
And listen, if they don't want to write these things, they can put pictures.
Yeah.
Put a picture of the Bible, put a picture of your I have some of my kids who have done pictures and they're beautiful. I just couldn't get any of the stuff for to get here on time, right?
Yeah.
But use pictures, but put it. I have one beautiful one that one of my kids did. Oh my God, it's beautiful. She put so much effort into it, and she started making the changes before the year got started.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can do all year long, and as you go along and you meet your goal, put new goals on there. Add that to your vision board. What the nice thing is, my kids at the end of the year, it's invariably this is what happens. They'll call me and go, I need to see you. And then they'll come bring the vision board. Look. I've completed everything on my vision board. Because that's how you manifest. If you're seeing something every day and you're reinforcing that belief in that, it begins to manifest for you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Love it.
I do. I'm all excited about this.
Happy New Year, Jen. You're so
Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Marlene, it's always a pleasure talking to Jenny.
That was a breakdown.
We
want to do something. That's how to do it.
Yeah, and what Jenny did there was actually gave us the ability to see what realistically we can do to make easy changes in our lives. Now, of course, get your support group, like she mentioned, and try to maintain. If you have done the work already, maintain while you continue. And try to make sure that you're at best of health. All right, that's 2021 for you. But we need to take a break. When we come back, speaking of 2021 and making change, why not change the way you eat? Why not change some of the things that you eat? Cornelio Marfield is going to be in with us. He'll be telling us about healthy substitutions for basic food items. That's when we come back. Stay with us.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.
Currently, we're using Smart Elite Vibe calling plan. We use it interbranch, we use it to call outside, and we also use it to call international. It's far cheaper than what we used to have before. Our equipment, our new PBX box is new. So the PBX is very good because I can call to my Sartaneja branch, I can call to my Kikaka branch, I can call to San Pedro branch, and there's no cost using the PBS. Actually right now, since we're in different locations, I can call main office from where I am at a no cost using the PBX system. I would recommend it, sure I would, especially the big enterprises who has a lot of employees. There's a lot of reduction in costs, 50% of saving. Put that on a year, it's a lot of money that we're saving. Money that we could return to our members, since we give back dividend to our members.
Visit our showroom or call 670-6710 to find out how Smart's corporate plan and PBX systems can benefit your business. Consultation is free.
Every day, young persons are infecting older and high-risk family members and friends with the COVID-19 virus. This Christmas could become the super spreader event we've all been afraid of. The end result is suffering and a horrible death. Please, do not let a couple of hours of fun cause a lifetime of mourning and pain.
Practice physical distancing, wash hands often, and wear your mask properly. Staying home this Christmas will ensure many more with your loved ones in the years to come. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Miss Belize. The new Miss Universe Belize will be announced live Saturday, January 9th, right here on Channel 5, starting at 3 p.m. Find out who will be representing the jewel at the next Miss Universe pageant.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind the scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
Reduce your risk of viral illness like the flu or the coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water or with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing or sneezing with a tissue. Throw away, then wash hands immediately. Avoid close contact with anyone who has the cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or nearest health center and share your travel history. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our final segment on this lovely Friday morning. And this one is all about healthy substitutions for basic food items. Now, in with us is one of my favorite persons, man, Dr. Cornelia Marfield, who it says here, naturopathic medicine. Did I get it correct? Naturopathic medicine and trained.
Not like natural.
Natural? Okay, I still want any look W. Sorry, Shans. And trained nutritional counselor. Dr. Marfield, one of my favorite persons, man. Good morning, sir. Happy New Year. And how are you?
Happy New Year's. Good morning.
Good morning. All right.
It's always nice to have you in talking to us about food, what to have and what not to have. So let's go there. Healthy substitutions for basic food items. Let's jump on into it. What do we have lined up?
Okay, well, last night when I was given the invitation to come on, I was asked about some of the basic things that we generally eat in Belize. I think we are cognizant that, as a rule, there are certain delicacy on our plate here in Belize. You know, your rice and beans, your bread, your flour tortilla. I mean, a day without these is like a day without sunshine for Belizeans. and they have their place and their time, and there are certain nutritional value that you can get from all these staples or carbs-based food. But particularly as we are in a pandemic and probably we'll go through another year of it, we know having a strong immune system and getting the best of nutrients from our food is imperative. And so I was happy when I was asked to present on this topic, because indeed many times we tell people, stop eat this, but then what to eat?
Yes.
So my job today for the next few minutes is to give some suggestions of alternatives, food substitutes that we can use in place of our typical, maybe less nutritional and high carbs diet that we are so accustomed to in this community. And so I wanted to start off with a typical morning meal whereby we would generally have some flour-based product, whether it's a flour tortilla, whether it's bread, whether it's Johnny cake. Generally, an average Belizean plate constitutes of one of those things or even a combination.
True.
And flour by itself is not a bad thing. It's from a plant, and it's basically from the original wheat plant. And then what happens is that wheat is taken to the mill, and it is basically milled, and so we get white flour. The problem is many times when we mill that wheat flour, we remove all those nutrients, our endosperm, our bran, all the natural nutrients that were embedded in the plant. We actually remove those, and many times people use that and just sell it or give it away to their animals, and then we are left with this white product that we call white flour in our country. Now, as I speak, I also think about the economic implication of this presentation, because I know that we are in a challenging time as well when it comes to trying to even get a plate of food for some on the table.
Yeah.
So I have think over and over as to what I think would be a very good, fairly economic plate of food that is still nutritional and probably a better substitute for what we normally eat.
Yeah.
So generally, and you guys know for years I have promoted getting wheat into your normal traditional white flour, and so I brought a whole 5 pounds of wheat flour. I normally get this from Spanish Lookout for $1.25 for 5 pounds.
Okay.
So let's talk about economics now.
Yeah.
All of this I got for $1.25 a pound, and this is what I was telling you. This is what is the byproduct from milling a typical flour. And so this is not going to be used by itself because...
What's it called?
It's just basically the wheat flour.
Okay, the wheat flour, yeah.
Yes, and so basically what you can do with this is that you can use 1/3 to 2/3 white as a start. Now, not everybody, because you know with changes, we have to think about acquiring taste and even palatability of the way how the food is prepared. But I find, I now relocated my office downtown Belmopan, if there's such a thing. And I am right in by the Market Square now. So I have my diabetes office, which I am speaking live from right now.
Okay.
And I also decided to kind of back up this because there is some financial payments that need to be done for the office, etc. So what I do, we have some healthy food items that we sell, and we try to provide a healthy breakfast, particularly for diabetics. So I do a lot of wheat products, like we do wheat Johnny cake, we do wheat turkey, we do wheat sandwiches, I do a wheat sub. And I find that it's going very well for the last few months that I'm out here.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's reasonably economical. Unfortunately, I didn't have time because I was just asked for this presentation for today, but I wish I could have done something live, and I know time is limited. So I just will give knowledge this morning, but you can use, just for a typical, let's say you want to make some Johnny cake, you can use your same white flour, but that has been devoid from many of the nutrients that is right in here. So you can use 2 cups to 1 cups of wheat, and you can get about 20 from a batch there, 20 Johnny cakes that is nice and palatable and healthy, and I promise you, you will reach the bathroom the next day because this is a lot of fiber.
Well, I was going to get to that, right? Because I think, you said it very clearly. Flour, there's no evil food. It's just a better use of your calories that you're talking about. So what's the difference between having my Johnny cake or my flour tortilla made of wheat versus going for a white one? What is the difference that I'm making in that substitution?
Apart from the nutritional value that I will allude to that I said earlier, one, like I'm saying, this has in a lot of the B vitamins that is rich. You know what is interesting, Marlene? When I was studying in the States, and my first training was in medical missionary work, and so part of that you'd study nutritional counseling. And what I learned when we used to go to different stores, generally where I was in Tennessee at that time, they don't sell white flour. It is a rule in that country that once you put a flour product on the shelf, it has to be fortified. So I used to find it interesting because you go through all this milling program to take out all these nutrients, and then when you put it back on the shelf, you still have to fortify it. The truth is the plant itself have already been fortified. A wheat, barley, quinoa, all of these are plant-based grains that have been fortified. Unfortunately, I don't know, I guess it's a maybe more money-making scheme than anything else, but to be milling the flour and then just giving it, you know, in its simplest form is not the best, because you lose the nutrients. So the wheat has in your B vitamins, which is so critical for your nerves, which is so critical for all the anxiety and stress that we are facing right now in a pandemic. So to me, eating simpler and yet nutritional is the way to go for this time.
Yeah.
And then apart from that, white flour, you know, when we were small, Marlene, when kite contest, you know, Nintamat, when we never had money for buy glue, you know how we make glue, right? We take some white flour, and we mix that up with some water, and man, we get with kite cake.
That's right,
paper,
that's the paste.
And we get with coconut thing, and we make the kite and the glue. And what it does, it sticks like a glue. Actually, the compound in that flour is called gluten. Hence, the name came about glue. So what happens is that is a sticky substance versus when I use the fiber. What happens in white flour, there is no fiber.
Yeah.
So you get this sticky substance that eventually mess up your liver, that will eventually stick up your colon. A lot of the colon issue, and I am a naturopathic doctor, so I deal with more referrals from people, diagnosis and prognosis. Nonetheless, I tell people a lot of their health start right in their colon. If your colon is a super system, and if these food are clogging it up, it gets mucated. You have a lot of mucus that is in your system as a result. Then you get a lot of bacteria. Then you begin to grow this tummy because it's a lot of empty calories that is sticking and it's not serving its purpose. So I would want to believe if you put the wheat along with it, and like I said, go to Spanish Lookout, go to Trading Center, it's $125 for this amount. I am of the opinion it's cheaper than the white flour. I wish there was a way that I would promote using just the pure wheat, but it's very, very strong, and maybe a Johnny cake will come out a little bit like polgorong. So we want to be wise. We don't want to eat polgorong either.
So balance it.
Right?
Well, I mean, you know, but you know that from, like, if you buy any wheat products, they have a little bit more weight than the white one.
And I appreciate that too, Marlene.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because then it means that you will be more, it's more filling as well. So I can eat, I mean, you can eat one wheat sandwich and it's filling. Sometimes you have to take about 4, 5, 6 slices of white bread to maybe get filled. So that's a very good point.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from the wheat to the next suggestion.
Well, all right. So still on the flour, one more substitute for flour. I went to Spanish Lookout too, and I got this. This is brown rice flour.
Okay.
So this is brown rice, which we can buy in Belize reasonably at the farm marketing board. But what the Mennonites do, and I guess we can do too, is that they blend it in such a way that it becomes pulverized into a powder. I don't know if you can see the reading on this, but it marks brown rice flour. Now it's a little bit more expensive. It's $2 a pound. But again, this is heavy. I mean, it is solid and it's a good substitute. It looks more white, but it's a good substitute to make your bread and to make your tortilla and all have you.
And you use it the same way you use flour?
Pardon me?
You use it the same way you use flour?
Same way you would use flour.
Okay.
Same way. And then again, if you want to mix this maybe with some white, because again, everybody is different. People have different. That's why if you go and you've noticed every bakery wheat bread looks a little bit different. Some wheat bread is a little different from Pandusa. Everybody have their own little mixture to it and their own formula and what they're weighting. But generally, you get a reasonable loaf of bread, tortilla, Johnny cake, even your fried jack. You get something a little bit more weighty and a little bit more and much fiber with the brown rice. So that's another idea. You can take the brown rice and blend it up and you use it as flour. Even breadfruit, incidentally, you can dry the breadfruit and blend it up and you get a more high fiber flour. Just food for thoughts, okay?
No, you don't waste the breadfruit now. It needs to be fried.
I had some breadfruit this weekend. I bought them reasonable at a place and I baked those. Man, nothing nice in our breadfruit.
Oh my gosh, yes. So brown rice flour, wheat flour in place of your regular white.
I want to give one more suggestion with the flour. And you can, I mean, with Google, you could Google everything. Go by YouTube. You can get some green. Now, I know people and they think, no, like papaya maybe, but You can get some green mix. A lot of people up north, I see they do like their tamalito and they put in greens in it.
Yes,
when I say green, I'm
chaya.
Chaya and your kalalu. You can blend chaya in a blender, and that extraction that you get, you can add it to your flour. And what you will get is a very green laden tortilla and a green laden fried jack. It might look funny, but it tastes good, provided you season it nicely, of course. And you put the extra touch. And so that's another way to get your nutrients in your white flour. You can get the same white flour. You go back to your backyard, pop out 4, 5, 6 leaves of your kalalu, blend it up, get the extracted juice and add it to your kneading. I give you that as a challenge. Really nice. We make a wrap from it. We do a wrap, and it's really, really healthy. Wow. It's really, really nice.
So do you dry it first, or you
don't have to dry it. Actually, on the contrary, you want to get the juice extracted. So you just add a little water and blend it. And then just like how you would add your coconut water to your flour to kneading, you just knead some of that in.
Okay.
And when you're doing apart from colorizing or giving the color to the dough, you are actually adding nutrients, vital nutrients,
that's such a great idea.
Vitamins C, etc.
And you could do that with carrots too. You could get
yeah. I mean, you could get creative. I like that. You can be very creative.
Imagine you make a pink tortilla for your daughter with beets.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I think, because I remember, and everybody asked me after the time you came here and you did the moringa bread. Is that kind of how you do it?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I brought the moringa. Now that you brought that up, I actually I've also done spirulina bread. That's a more expensive green compound when I brought it from the States. But that's why I learned it in the States. They used to do spirulina bread.
Yeah.
Spirulina is a algae from the sea, but it's very, very nutritious. One of them superfood like turmeric.
Yeah.
But your moringa powder, of course, again. But so your point is valid. You can add it in as a powder. Just like you're doing your baking powder or whatever. You can add it, or I am suggesting you can also pulverize and get the juice extra. So good point, well noted.
All right, next substitution then.
All right, so now another issue. So now we talk about rice, because again, a plate without rice is like a day without sunshine in Belize again. We know the average Belizean love with rice.
Yes.
We love with rice, reality check. But we like, again, white rice. Now, as the chairperson for the Diabetes Association, here in Belmopan, we promote a lot of anti-white rice preparation. Simply because, again, white rice is the same concept. It's been polished. A lot of stuff have been removed from it. It has its place and its time, and it does have some nutritional value, but there's a high glycemic index in using white rice. Hence, it's not suggested for diabetics or for pre-diabetics, or even in the prevention of diabetes. So what I would like to suggest, again, since we're on the topic of adding stuff, your white rice, you can add a host of things to it. You could do a vegetable rice, something that we prepare here as well for sale and for mainly diabetics and those who want to lose weight. You add, once you make your food fiber, you're going to prevent constipation. You're going to add nutrients. You're going to be more filled. You're going to lose weight. These are the benefits, and you get a lot of condensed nutrients versus the empty calories. So white rice will basically get you more enlarged and more fat if you're eating it, especially in the night, because in the night it takes about 4 hours to break down that particular food, white rice. And then if your body has already been breaking it down and storing it as glycogen in the liver, eventually what it does, it converts that glycogen into fat. And then the body creates a little bank account called fat cells account. And it starts to put those fat cells in there, and it grows, and you get one big fat account, and then you begin to look, unfortunately, fat. So my suggestion is you don't eat a lot of carbs in the night, especially rice. Something that we need to change in our culture, because we know most people go home late and they want to eat this rice. Then worse if you go buy the food from maybe different stores and external sources, Chinese places, they put in MSG, so that adds to your misery, because monosodium glutamate is a fattener by itself too. It's an excitotoxin.
Yeah.
So there is this vicious cycle that you're eating, you're trying to lose weight, you're eating, you're trying to lose weight. So my suggestion is you add a lot of vegetables to the rice.
To the rice, so it's
Vegetable
healthier.
rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I want to jump in there because where we talk about healthy substitutions, normally when you say rice, people will say eat brown rice instead of white rice. But I find that's a tough sell for a lot of people.
Yeah. So vegetable rice is a better seller. And I accept that.
Okay.
Now, on that note, the problem with brown rice is, again, the way you prepare it. Brown rice has to be prepared. You can do it in a slow cooker, you know, guys, and you can leave it overnight, and you can put maybe a little coconut oil if you can afford that, or some coconut powder. And it could be tasty, and put some onions and season it with some, you know, cayenne pepper and other stuff. But the key to it is that you have to add a little bit more water when you're cooking it on a stove, and it has to be cooked for a little longer. So a general pot of white rice can cook anywhere between 25 to about 30 minutes. Brown rice will have to go to about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a fact. So a better option, like I said, add some vegetables to your rice. You know, you could do carrots rice. Yesterday we did sweet peas rice, and people like it. You know, you can add your sweet peas, you can add some corn, you can add carrots rice, you can get creative with your rice.
Cilantro.
Sweet pepper, I mean, you can do onion rice. You can do a lot of things with the rice, and it's more flavor, it's more tasty.
Yeah. Okay.
You could chop in your celery, you could chop in some cilantro, that is, culantro. Nice.
Good. Yeah, that's nice.
You know, I don't know if Marlene cook and so, but you take, I remember when the younger Mars, we take a little plastic bag and we put it right over the rice and we cut and down when it nearly finished. And man, you cover up with a little plastic bag and a rice.
All right, so let's move on to the next one now. What else do we have there?
Another substitute. Now, this is interesting. You can do a substitute rice. You should try this. And you can take cauliflower. I just came from the market. Tuesdays are market day, so I went out early. I paid $2.50 for this. And with this, I can feed a whole family.
How?
This, what I gotta do, I can do two things. I can grate it on a, this is cauliflower, by the way. I guess you see that, right?
Yeah.
I can take this cauliflower and I can grate it on a typical grater, like we would do for cheese or whatever. Grate it till it becomes fine like rice. Or if you have a food processor, you can just cut it up, dash it in a food processor, and you blend it. And what I love about this, it takes 8 to 10 minutes to prepare. Once I have made my rice from the cauliflower, this is raw, I blend it, it becomes ricey, quote unquote. Then what I do, I will add a little bit of oil, and like I'm going to do a stir fry of it. And I season it up again. I put some cayenne pepper, some black pepper, my salt, put some onion in there, just like I would do the rice, and I stir fry this. Tell me how it go when you do it. It's really delicioso. It's obviously more healthy. And it's not going to give you that heavy feeling and niggeritis, because most of us suffer from niggeritis, because by right when you don't eat, you're supposed to feel energetic, you know, guys. You shouldn't feel low-key. That's another way how you determine the nutrient content from your food. If you eat and after that you want to go sleep, that food not serve a purpose.
Okay then.
And cauliflower is really versatile. I've seen cauliflower used in so many ways. I know you can put it in soup too, or you can make like creamy broths with it if you
you make mashed potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, another option there,
Yes, you boil this, you can boil this. You boil it for about 5 minutes and then you just throw off the water, or you can steam it, and then what you do is season it and put some butter with it, and you throw it in your food processor. Again, good substitute. It's much better than doing that mashed potato per se. All right? So that's another thought there as we are looking at our cart. And then on that point of mashed potato, white potato is not the best, and especially when fried. You know, a lot of us, we like our chips fried, like fries, and there are proper place and time. I do some fries every so often. Again, I wouldn't do it in the night, again, because then that's double. I'm putting double calories. I'm getting potato that is high in carbs, so it has a high glycemic index, and then I'm also frying it. So not only am I diminishing the structure of the potato, but I'm also deneutralizing it. So I don't have the nutrients that is in it that I would get if I would just maybe bake the potato or put it in a sauce. So my suggestion again is to see if you can get sweet potato.
Yep.
Sweet potato has more fiber, and it's about the same price incidentally. Actually, to be honest with you, I went to the market. Sweet potato is cheaper than the white potato.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but we know everything is going up now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So now I don't know what it is in Belize, but here we are paying up to $2.50, $3 for a pound of potato. Sweet potato is still at about $1.75, $2. So you can get your sweet potato, boil it, and you can mash it. You can add something to it to give it your flavor.
Yeah.
It's good. You can make wet sweet potato.
Yep.
Much healthier.
You can make fries. You could roast it the same way. Yeah.
You can make fries from it, and you notice it's colorful.
Yeah.
So it has a high level of a beta carotene, the same coloration that you get from your carrots. Beta carotene is found in sweet potato, so it's excellent for the eyes. You get a lot of vitamin E from it, vitamin C. So you're getting nutrients again, right? We are eating for nutrients. We are not just eating to get full. I mean, we have to get that in our mind, in our culture. I just don't want to eat because I want to be satisfying my appetite and just be full. You want to eat for nutrients so you can have energy, so you can have a stronger immune system. You're at a better place. And I am trying to do some research. I know when I talk to some of my colleagues in the medical field out of Belize, in the States, etc., they're saying that, again, apart from the more elderly people dying, most people that die are generally overweight from COVID.
Yeah. We're seeing that in Belize. I think we've gotten that very early on too, that people who are obese and overweight have more severe COVID
you're much
as
more
well.
prone. Any degenerative diseases, that is too.
Okay, but we're running out of time, and I know you look like you have, but you're gonna have to give us the bullet point version of this one.
I mean, I have a few other thoughts here, but I am just looking at, like I said, even right now at this point, I would do like a banana cake if I want a little treat. All of we want really treat sometime, but I would do banana cake or a banana bread, that is, my bad. A banana bread versus doing a lot of cakes right now. And the reason for this is cake breaks down the immune system because it's a lot of sweet. There is a place and time for it, when you have birthday, you want to take the child for a little treat. There is a place and time for it. But for what happened, the vulnerability now for getting obese and eating a lot of sweet is that a lot of people are staying home. Children are home. So you have to watch the kids and you have to watch your own self. It's so easy to just grab something sweet that is empty calorie and eat it. So get creative with the kids, get them involved. Have them go and buy $1 banana. With $1 banana, some flour, and a few other things, you can make some nice banana bread.
One of my favorite things right there, banana bread.
Nice banana bread, nice salad. And when you try now, I'll give you an option and try and leave it a wheat in there.
I would definitely try that. Yeah.
It's really healthy, very filling, and it's better than just doing that white cake or that empty cake, like I said. So that's another final thought there. And then I had one more thing. I'm thinking in my culture, a lot of us, and children, because the children are most susceptible to mucus. A lot of the mucus are caused by dairy products, incidentally. Again, there is a glue-like substance in all dairy product that is called casein. That's actually the milk protein. People like myself have an issue with casein and lactose. So I'm a lactose intolerance guy, so I don't fool myself, right? I have a very good bowel movement. I don't need extracurricular activity at the bathroom, all right? So I personally avoid as much as possible anything that is dairy.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, apart from that medical advice, if you're glucose intolerant, the casein in it is not the best for you, and there's a lot of studies about it could cause type 1 diabetes because casein look just like insulin and the beta cells and a lot of stuff which I don't have time to explain right now. But my point is a good substitute if you're going to do something lactose based is yogurt. And the reason why I would suggest yogurt over an ice cream right now is because yogurt has probiotics in it, which are very good for the stomach. You get those friendly bacteria, and you want to keep your stomach healthy too, and it's less mucus with the ice cream. There's a lot of other additives and chemicals to get it that nice, creamy and tasty way that makes it palatable and, you know, tasty, but comes with many issues. A lot of people, if I do, apart from going to the bathroom, as I put certain dairy, I will start to sneeze. So I know it messes up the respiratory area. And I'm saying this because of COVID. COVID will be more dominant in people that has a lot of mucus in their system. And especially in the respiratory area, your bronchioles and your bronchioles, those areas, and the bronchus, and particularly the small filtering unit, the alveoli, when you eat a lot of the dairy products, they tend to clog those areas. And I challenge the audience to go and research this. So I would suggest you dip that in this time and season, less of that ice cream stuff, and maybe do something more like a Greek yogurt, and then you can add some fruits to it.
What about cheese?
Cheese, again, cheese have variation. A low-fat cheese is a better option, obviously, than one that is more fatty. So you have to, mozzarella cheese probably is a better option. You know, your happy cow, you have to look and read your labels and see how much fat and saturated fat you have in it. You like sit down, saturated. All right? Now, sit down in your blood vessels. Hello, somebody.
Oh, Lord. I can't think of saturated fat any other way than that. But Cornelia, we are out of time.
I got you. I hope I said something that made sense, Marlene.
No, a lot. A whole lot. I mean, I think that this is such an important conversation to have. It's not about just giving up on all the things that you love. It's about swapping out elements of it to make it healthier and more nutritious in the end. We appreciate you. I see your food. We've been showing a bit of it from your Nutrilicious corner in Belmopan. Unfortunately, it's not available to us here in Belize City, but people in that area can take advantage.
After the pandemic, you never tell.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, and stay safe.
Thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
All right, Dr. Murphy, thank you, buddy. Great laughs for the morning. I told you, fun Friday. But we need to take the break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everyone is at risk of catching COVID-19, so it's important to quickly recognize signs and symptoms of the infection. The most common symptoms are fever, dry cough, and tiredness or fatigue. Some people may also have sore throat, aches and pains, stuffy nose, or diarrhea. But a few people have also reported pink eye or conjunctivitis, headache, loss of taste or smell, a rash on skin, or change in the color of fingers or toes. Emergency warning signs that require immediate medical attention are extreme difficulty breathing, severe constant pain or pressure in the chest, becoming confused, unable to talk or move, bluish lips, face, fingers, or toes. For more information, call 0800 MOH-CARE. Help keep Belize safe.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
It's a fact that you can access unlimited services with Smart. Tired of being measured or cut off when you need to be connected? It's a fact that when you sign up for Smart's Plus plan, you get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data. And it's a fact that you can sign up with your group of up to 5 members for Smart's Share plans and up to 40 members for Smart's Enterprise plans for unlimited talk, text and data. Smart has the true unlimited plans. That's a fact. Be smart and live smart.
We're back.
Just like that, we've come to the end of our show for today. As a matter of fact, we're concluding the week with some wonderful conversations. Actually, we started with the folks from UB, their student government. Now, what a wonderful way to try and get each other that the help they much deserve. They've got this grant going on, somewhere around $400. 70 students they're trying to help. A few from each how would you say, faculty, you know. And so we want to say a big thank you to them. You can check them out on their Facebook page and find out exactly how you could be a part of this this grant.
All right. We want to say thank you to all our guests who joined us this morning.
Yeah.
Of course, we wanted to make sure that we can get you ready for any special goals that you're taking on. So Jenny broke that down for us. And of course, Cornelia taught us how to eat a bit healthier by making some healthy substitutions.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you, everybody. And of course, thanks to you as well for always joining us. If you've got any questions, any concerns, drop us a line at oye@channel5belize.com.
You can also drop me a line at marlene_oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ.
Or you could find us on Instagram at OYEBelize.
And remember to tune in on Monday morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right. Keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Believe.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.